Hello everyone, it is Monday, and that means it's time for another weekly draft video. We're doing some more Rivals of Ixalan, and I'll be back with you guys when the draft fires. Okay, well, I think we have a pretty easy first pick, as Ravenous Chupacabra is better than like 95% of the rares in the set. It's just an incredible card. It's going to see playing Constructed, if it isn't already. This pack's actually pretty stacked, though, because Thrashing Brontodon's another card that will probably see playing Constructed, because it's just really efficient. This is better, obviously, because it blows up things that are more prevalent in that they're creatures, and it doesn't have to sacrifice itself. It doesn't have as good of stats, but obviously the Chupacabra is still better. Our rare is not very good, but yeah, we have two very good uncommons here, which would be easy first picks. Let's say they weren't here. I would be tempted to take Voracious Vampire or Martyr of Dusk, probably. Maybe Kitesail Corsair gets in there too. All three of these cards are pretty good little commons, but these two uncommons are both way better. So we will take a Chupacabra and try to play black. Maybe someone will pass another one to us, just all Chupacabras. Nope. In fact, the black here is not very good. This is an okay uncommon, but it's not anything like incredible. Silver Adepts is good, and if I took like a blue card or a green card with my first pick, I'd be tempted to take it, but we did not. So what do we take here? Probably Martyr of Dusk. I think it's probably just the best card in this pack. Goblin Trailblazer, I guess, is probably in that conversation, but I like the Martyr a little more. Tuscadon, like I said, is good, but it's not incredible. You know, it's not usually going to be cracking in for a bunch of damage. Though if you watched my last draft video, someone used Sure Strike on one to hit me for 14. I don't remember whether they actually won that game or not in the end, but it did hurt. But yeah, we're gonna take the Martyr here. I think trying to see if Vampires is open isn't a bad play in here. The Trailblazer's good too, but I think the Martyr's just better. Just leaving behind a body is a nice little bit of upside. Okay, well, black here is not great, although Golden Demise with Ravenous Chupacabra isn't the worst combination. Like, that's a good start to a control deck, if that's possible in this format. This would be a good way to start it. Also, it doesn't work horribly with Martyr of Dusk because it'll leave something behind. So maybe I just take Golden Demise. The other cards here aren't anything special, honestly. I mean, Night of the Stampede's nice in a dinosaur deck. Raptor Companion's an okay 2-drop, but let's take Golden Demise and see what happens here. Haven't had the chance to play one yet, but I think they're pretty good. Okay, so here's another good vampire payoff. We've passed several vampire payoffs, but it may be time for us to just take one. Dusk Legion Zealot's good too, but we're going to be able to pick up random 2-drop vampires. We may not be able to pick up more vampire payoffs. This does cut black, which I guess is worth noting when we have a Ravenous Chupacabra. But I'm going to take the Glorifier here. And we'll see if we can be black-white vampires. I guess the thing about the Dusk Legion Zealot is it's playable, like, no matter what, as long as I end up in black. And the Glorifier is not, so that is relevant. But I think this is a nice enough payoff that I wanted to take it. Okay. So we have another... Man, there's lots of cards I want. Oathsworn Vampire is nice. We already have one thing that makes a lifelink token. It can come back. Martyr of Dusk is here, and so is Squire's Devotion. I like all of those things. I feel like this has the highest upside. This, I mean, obviously just like generally the Martyr is going to be better, but you end up with enough lifelink and this has some pretty insane upside. I think we're going to take the Vampire here and see if we can get some lifelink going. It looks like Vampires are open based on that pack. Yeah, if we can really get lifelink going, Oathsworn Vampire is... not a fun thing for our opponent to deal with. It does come into play tapped, it's worth noting, but still not a lot of fun when something just keeps coming back. And like I said, we have one lifelinker already, so more lifelink will definitely be welcome. Okay, here's another Sanguine Glorifier. There's also a Moment of Triumph, which gives us life gain, and it's a combat trick, but I think I'm just going to take another Glorifier. Let's take all the vampire payoffs and make other people want to be in pirates, which this pack I think will do to people. And we will take the vampires. Okay. Here I think we take a Legion Conquistador. We definitely want you know, if we have 2 of them, we'll play it, and we'll take more of them. There may be some that wheel. That Cleansing Ray is not going to be good news for us the way things are looking, but that's okay. This isn't a pod, it's a league, so people will have Cleansing Rays, though. That is something to be aware of. Yeah, it'll be interesting in the end if we really actually want to play this. If we're a really aggressive deck, I don't know that we will. If we're a deck that can get to is like sort of a mid-rangey kind of deck and is interested in ascending, then we'll want it more. But if we're a deck that just wants to win quickly, I don't think we want it. I don't like Mausoleum Harpy very much. It's fine, and I would take it in some cases. Same with Fathom Fleet Border, but I think we're just going to take the combat trick here that also works with our Oathsworn Vampire. It's a great combat trick, so we have some extra synergy for it. Awesome. This Voracious Vampire came back, and they mean business. They are scary. They just make it so your 2-drop vampires aren't dying. They aren't attacking into a trade. They're just doing damage. And that's pretty great. Definitely better than the Glorifier, though I think the Glorifier is solid. I think this is the better common payoff, but the common payoff in both colors is nice. So we could take like a Foul Orchard in the event we see something green, but maybe I just take a 2-drop. It's not a vampire, but it's a fine 2-drop. Which is more upside? I mean, I think this has like a higher ceiling potentially if we open up some off-color bomb or like Vraska in the 3rd pack. But chances are that's not going to happen, and just having a random 2-drop is going to be better than that. I don't really like either of these sort of medium cards. I'm going to take the Sentry, I guess. Get someone who has like all 2/2s, I guess maybe I sided in or something. We don't want... Aggressive Urge is actually a pretty good little trick. I think this is better, but I don't know that there's another trick that is better at lower rarities. We're going to take the Revenant here. Nice little vampire that wheeled. I mean, it's probably like our first vampire on the chopping block. We might play Grasping Scoundrel if we're aggressive enough. If it were a pirate, a vampire, we'd be all over it, but... So we don't have our second Conquistador yet. Okay. There's the Crafty Cut Purse. So here our options are Imperial Ceratops, which I don't think our deck's really going to want most 5-drops. I think we just take an Impale here. It's just a very efficient removal spell. The white stuff here isn't really for us. I mean, the Ceratops and the Pterodon are both solid cards, but I think Impale's just better in a vacuum and definitely better for us. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to sort of stick him over here for now. He may make the cut in the end if we have so many vampire payoffs that we want to be running him, or we don't have enough vampires or whatever. But he's nothing special. So another Impale. Or we could take an Evolving Wilds, which does have significant upside. Just makes your mana better, even in a 2-color deck, and then it makes splashing very easy. Raptor Companion, which is a solid 2-drop, but not a vampire. And another Impale, which is a good removal spell. I think I'm just leaning towards taking another Impale here. Yeah, I like my Impales. It can be clunky, but it's usually not. Okay, I think here, as much as I like Martyr of Dusk, well, I like Moment of Craving too. But I think I'm going to take Voracious Vampire here. We're just gonna push the vampires and get as many payoffs as we can and as many vampires as we can. Right now, we're still only looking at 2 ways to gain life, which is still plenty to run this guy, but we did just pass a Moment of Craving, which is another way for us to gain life. Hopefully we don't play that. I only just realized Moment of Triumph and Moment of Craving are part of like it's not a cycle, but, well, I said we don't want to play most 5-drops. That's true. We do want to play this one. It's an insane bomb in our deck, and it's good in any deck. You do have to be careful sometimes not to kill yourself, but most of the time you can sort of control it and just draw 3 or whatever. But yeah, we're definitely taking it. That is good news for our vampire deck to get a rare that goes with us here. Okay, so now we're just going to take a random dinosaur who's a good little 2-drop. We don't want Dark Inquiry. We don't want Silent Gravestone. Don't want Snubhorn Sentry. We do want more 2-drops. Okay, here I think we take Pride of Conquerors. Right now I don't really feel like we're a deck. Well, maybe we are. Maybe we are a deck that wants to run Pride of Conquerors. It has a decent chance to make the cut. Okay, well now we're not getting much for our plans. I think we take the Ceratops, but I'm not planning on running it. It isn't the worst sideboard card. It does gain us life. I guess it's worth noting for our Oathsworn Vampire, so that's a thing. If we end up with like 2 Oathsworn Vampires, would I run a Ceratops? Maybe. So we've got 2 of these and 2 of these, which I think is a good base for any vampire deck. And then we have a bunch of vampires. We definitely need more, but we're doing much better than I did in my last draft video with Pirates, where if you saw, I ended up just, Pirates ended up sort of fizzling out on me, and I had 3 Direfleet Neckbreakers, which is a great payoff, and I only ended up with like 8 or 9 Pirates. The deck ended up 2-1-ing in the end, and was a decent deck, but a lot of that was because we were splashing Hostage Taker, honestly, so that won us at least one game, like single-handedly, so I don't think we're going to play Golden Demise in this deck right now. It's a good card to keep our eyes on as a sideboard card, but as of now, I don't think we want it. Right now we only have 2-drop vampires. More is good because of our Voracious Vampires, so more of those would be welcome. Oh, well, now we have 3 Voracious Vampires. There's a Nezahal, which, if we ended up in that control deck, that would have been fun, huh? But yeah, we're gonna take a 3rd Voracious Vampire and just really drink some blood, I guess. Definitely want to try to pick up some more low drop vampires. Not sure this will make the cut either. I'm gonna stick it over here for now. We're just gonna be sort of a straightforward deck. I guess I'll take another Ceratops. I think it's more likely I sided in than Snubhorn Sentry, because against some opponents, they just can't crack through this very easily, or they don't have enough removal spell, and the life, like against really mid-rangey decks, it's a nice little card to play that can block all the 3/3s and 4/4s. We will take another Raptor Companion. I mean, I wish it was a Dinosaur Pirate, but it's a solid 2-drop. We still have our 2nd Conquistador, which is a little annoying. I think I'm probably going to mainboard this. We have enough vampires that significant portion of the time it's going to actually do the drain too. I think we take another Moment of Triumph here over the Companion. It gives us another source of life gain, and that's nice. So we still have Conquistadors in this pack, but if we don't pick up a 2nd one, we're not playing the 1st one. That is for certain. But yeah, this guy is hopefully going to win us some games, as is our uncommon that I think first pick Champion of Dusk is one of the few rares I would take over Ravenous Chupacabra. Well, I guess we just take Call to the Feast. It's tempting to take Legion Conquistador, but this is just a better card. Like having one of these is better than having 2 Legion Conquistadors, Vampire Zeal is a nice trick. Maybe it'll wheel. Mark of the Vampire is a nice aura, but I think Call to the Feast is just better for us. Does put us with a lot of 4s, which that has been happening to me in this format, but I think that's okay. Here we probably take Mark of the Vampire, which, by the way, is another 4, but there's not really another good option. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to end up cutting some 4s out of this deck if it keeps looking this way. Well, there's like nothing for us here. We can't really do anything with Rip Captain's Call. We have some dinosaurs and some vampires, but that's it. I guess I can take a Demystify for my sideboard. That's more likely to make my deck than March of the Drowned. I mean, to get sided in at least. Okay, here we go. So 2 Conquistadors or our first Bloodletter. That's close. That's a lot closer. I don't know. I think it might just be the first Bloodletter. It really might be. We're still struggling on 2-drop vampires, which is sad. We'll be taking like the 2-mana, 2 generic 2/2 just because we have 3 Voracious Vampires. I think I'm going to take the Skymarch Bloodletter. I think it's more likely I see a 2nd Legion Conquistador than it is another one of these. Bloodletter is a good card. So maybe we don't want to run this many Impales, but we don't. I mean, I guess we're running combat tricks, and those are going to be more efficient for us a lot of the time than like an Impale. And I don't know. Auras are definitely worse in this format. Blue can so easily bounce things. Well, of course, we get another Skymarch Bloodletter and a Legion Conquistador pack. Now I think we take the second Conquistador because it makes our first one that much better. Yeah. My cat's knocking stuff over. Yeah, we'll take the Conquistador here over the Bloodletter. Maybe that other one will wheel and we'll get like 3 of them. But we really want, more than we want, like a card that's this good, which by the way is another card that can help us bring back our Oathsworn Vampire. But what we really want are 2-drop vampires. So we can cut like these not vampires, who are fine and will be, you know, I'll be perfectly happy with them. But with 3 voracious vampires, we really want 2-drop vampires. Obviously, the nice thing about this card is it's good at all stages. So even if we don't get any more 2-drop vampires, it's good in the later part of the game too. It's just, it definitely makes your attacks more potent in the early game, though. Is there any reason? See, Ashes of the Abhorrent now, I guess, at least shuts down something like Oathsworn Vampire. I feel like it didn't used to do anything. Pterodon Knight isn't something we want. I guess I'm going to take the rare. I mean, I don't really think it'll get sided in. Okay, so we have 2 Queen's Commissions. I mean, we have... No, we don't. We have Queen's Commission or Legion Conquistador. I think we just take another Conquistador here. Direfleet Interloper's solid, but I think we want vampires for obvious enough reasons. Okay, here's a Vampire Zeal, another very good combat trick. Castaways isn't very good in our deck. Heartstopper's okay, but yeah, I think we take the Zeal here. Ooh, 4 Conquistadors or another Vampire. I think we take a 4th Conquistador. Still, yeah, we're not going to get there on our 2-drop vampires, but that's okay. Our deck has a lot of synergy, and that is good. It just, yeah. We passed too many 2-drop vampires in that first pack, I guess, huh? So we need to cut 1 card. I think we probably want to run 17 with this many in the middle. We didn't get any Anointed Deacons, which is kind of sad. We got all our payoffs in our first 2 packs. Not really. I guess Vampire Zeal's a minor one. Wow. Do we want 5? I mean, I'm going to take it. I don't know if I want 5 Legion Conquistadors. That's crazy. We had 1 going into that pack, and we got 4 more. I don't think we want 5. And by the way, every time I end up playing 5 of something on a draft video, people are like, wow, I didn't know you could play 5. You can. You can play as many of anything as you want in limited, provided you have them. So you could even play 10 Legion Conquistadors if you had 10, you see. So, but that's something to think about, that's for sure. So I think we probably do run Mark of the Vampire. It just makes things very difficult. Like putting it on a menace creature or one of our... We don't actually have that many flyers, but flyers, you know, any creatures really get a lot scarier with it. I think we want Arterial Flow main board. We have so many vampires that it's going to drain people a lot. We also have Pride of Conquerors, which is a little more appealing when we have Call to the Feast and Legion Conquistador. I mean, I might cut like Sun Sentinel and just run 5 Legion Conquistadors. Golden Demise, I don't think we're going to main board. I don't think our deck's going to want to get to the point where players are ascending in most cases. Siding it in grindier matchups is definitely a good idea, though, where the game is going to go long, because obviously if you know it's going to be one-sided at some point in the game, it gets a lot better. So it is a good sideboard card, but we need to cut a couple things here. I think... Which of these tricks is better? That's the question. I think Vampire Zeal is just better because of the first strike. We have enough other ways to gain life, and you know, this is just 1 card anyway, but yeah, being able to bring him back is going to be nice. But we have plenty of ways of bringing him back that we don't need to be running a combat trick, a 4th combat trick, basically. We could maybe get away with 16 lands in this deck, but I think maybe I just cut, would I rather have, I think I cut Sun Sentinel. It's definitely an underwhelming 2-drop. It's our worst 2-drop. Maybe we want a 5th 2-drop, but I think we're okay. And yeah, we do have a lot of 4s, but I think that's also okay. Can we get away with 16 lands in this deck? I mean, if we just play 1 Legion Conquistador, we're going to thin out our deck a bunch. Do I just cut a Legion Conquistador and play 4? I think that's probably the plan here. Yeah. I think more than 4, you're getting into some dangerous territory, because what's so good about this is that it basically is going to draw me 3 cards. And even though those 3 cards are like mediocre, you know, because they're 3 mana 2/2s, it just gives me guaranteed, you know, creatures when my opponent doesn't have them. But 5 is kind of pushing it, I feel like. I think 4 is the max you want to run. You want at least 2 and probably a maximum of 4. I mean, I could maybe see an argument for 5, but I think we're in good shape. I mean, we have tons of vampires, not as many at 2 as I would like, but we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 basically, 12, 13. Yeah, we have 14 of them, and we have the big Champion of Dusk to just draw us 1,000 cards. So I think this will be our deck. And 9, 8. It wants us to run 9 swamps because we have Ravenous Chupacabra, Impale, and Champion of Dusk, and Arterial Flow. Which I guess that's a good reason, but we have way more 2-drops. Like, most of our 2-drops are white, and half of our 3-drops are white. We want double black later in the game. I think we probably flip this just to make. I think having a better chance of having white early is something we're going to want. All right, well, I'll see you guys in the first match. All right, we're going into the first match. This hand is definitely a keep. We got lucky enough to get 2 vampires, so a turn 3 Voracious Vampire will be pretty good if we can do that. We do need to draw land, but there's a good chance we do, see. Which one do I play is the question. I might play the Oathsworn Vampire first. My opponent is going to be less inclined to want to use removal on it, since it can come back. And we actually already have 1 source of life gain to bring it back once, so that's pretty nice. So yeah, I think I'm going to play the Oathsworn guy here. Opponent not playing anything there is good news for us because it almost guarantees we're going to get in with Voracious Vampire, a Voracious Vampire, Oathsworn Vampire. I guess they could play the Merfolk token generating guy, and then it would just trade, but I think I would be okay with that. So we have 2 Conquistadors in our hand, which is not ideal, but we still get to draw 2 more if we play one of them. But yeah, I think we definitely play Voracious Vampire, swing in for 3. Then maybe next turn we play Legion Conquistador. I don't know. Okay, they're ramping, which should be good news for us if we can be fast. What did they reveal? Oh, they didn't. That's why they paid so much mana. So I think we still play Voracious Vampire here, even though it's not. It just results in 1 more damage, so it's not exactly awesome. I mean, I guess maybe it would have been better to play a Conquistador there and hold this back for when they do play a creature, but I think playing a Menace creature here is pretty good as well when they don't have any creatures in play already, so it's more guaranteed damage than like a Conquistador would be. Might just play Raptor Companion and Martyr of Dusk, I don't know. Okay, big dinosaur. Okay, we have Impale, but we unfortunately don't have our other black. Otherwise, that is exactly what we would do here. So we're going to attack with the Menace Vampire here. And then I think we play Martyr of Dusk and Raptor Companion. Double blocking, Stampeding Horncrest with Martyr of Dusk and Oathsworn Vampire seems pretty good to me. Because neither of them is a full trade, you know? I guess I'm probably trading 1 card for 1 card in the end between the Vampire token and the fact that this can come back. We're definitely going to want black mana for Impale against an opponent who's ramping like this. Freebooter, okay. All right, well, they have the city's blessing already. That was fast. They probably attack, but maybe not. No, guess not. Unfortunately, Voracious Vampire is not great here because there's nothing I can give Menace to that can attack and guarantee. Actually, no, yeah. Because since they can double block with this. Well, I guess if I make a guy a 3/3, they have to lose something, actually. So I have to attack with the Oathsworn Vampire, basically. Because then I at least get to kill either Stormfleet Swashbuckler or Brazen Freebooter, and that doesn't seem terrible. I think we go for that. Yeah, let's play Voracious Vampire. Pump this. And we attack. So yeah, no matter what, we get to kill a creature here at least. So I think that's probably worth it, given our opponent's sort of out of gas. And if we can thin out their board a little bit, I think that drastically improves our chances. They may also just take 3, which I'm also okay with, I think. And we'll end our turn. We need that other black mana. Hopefully they don't have any... They could easily have something else scary going on, is the bad news. Like a huge... No, that's not scary. I mean, you know, it's not good, but it's not scary either. So do we just take 8 here? I think I might. I really might just take 8 here. They're attacking with everything, huh? In that case, I wonder if they have a combat trick, but... Maybe I just block... Awkward blocking here, because I could just block that, but I have to double block this to kill it. And I kind of... Yeah, I think I'm going to block this, and I'm going to block this. Yeah, let's do it. We take 8. But we kill 2 of their guys, and we get a vampire token here. Oh. They decided not to kill that. They didn't want me to get the token. That's sort of interesting. I think you probably still want to kill it, but maybe that's just me. Okay, so that's a 4/4 and a 2/4 now, which our board cannot currently tangle with very effectively. All right, we did get another black, and I think we just fire off Impale. The question is it better to kill this 4/4 Artisan or the 2/2 Double Striker? Probably the 2/2 Double Striker. Yeah, let's do that. If I killed one of them, I could have gotten in for 2, but that's okay. Definitely double block one of these guys. I think I'm going to double block here. Let's see if they decide not to give me the token again. Certainly would be interesting. Ooh, yeah, that's gross. Okay. Well, they are going to give me the token, but I think they still come out ahead in that exchange thanks to Bombard. We do get to play him from our graveyard this turn at least. And play a Legion Conquistador. Is that still what we want to do? Or do we want to actually play a creature? Now that we have Sanguine Glorifier, I kind of think we want to play it. Maybe not yet, actually. I think we can stabilize more effectively here, maybe. Yeah, let's attack. Yeah, we'll attack with both. Takes us up to 11. We are going to take a hit here, but I think that's okay. We're going to play Horsesworn Vampire. Actually, we'll probably chump one of them with a Legion Conquistador. And we'll get our other two Conquistadors. And we'll end our turn. Lots of conquistadors, lots of conquest going on here. Okay, that sucks. So we take 6 to the face here. All right. It's probably better still to just play 2 conquistadors, honestly, because they can block for me a little more effectively. And they give me more bodies to block, is what I mean. I think I'm just going to attack with the vampire. Well, maybe we should be more aggressive here. Drop them to 4. Play 2 conquistadors. Yeah, their hand's empty. I think we play 2 conquistadors here. This kicks us up to 6. And they're kind of in a place where it's not that easy for them to attack. We don't have any more to search for, so we won't. And I'll end the turn. So if they like drew a land there, they're kind of in trouble. Yeah, well, I feel pretty good about that. Our opponent managed to ramp out way ahead of us, and we still managed to fend them off and vampire them to death. So that worked out pretty well for us on the whole. I kind of feel like we want another Impale against this opponent. They've got big dudes that using Impale on isn't going to feel horrible against. So having 2 Impales seems good. I mean, we also have the Chupacabra. We saw Bombard, which Mark of the Vampire is pretty ugly against. We didn't see more than that, but that may be enough of a reason. We could also think about cutting the flow, although against a ramp deck, if I can cast this on turn 3, it'll actually be pretty disruptive. I think I'm going to cut the mark here and, yeah, go with another Impale instead. But I mean, they had the City's Blessing as quickly as you can get it, basically, and ramped very quickly, and we still managed to survive. Oh man, if this hand had white in it, it would be so good. I think I'm going to have to mulligan it, sadly, because the way it's looking, we're not doing anything early, so we'll send it back. Okay, I think this one's better, but it's also kind of a problem. I'm going to put this on the bottom and hope I draw a 2 or 3 drop. We're going to draw another land, so I'm not like worried that it'll put me too far behind, but a slow start isn't what we want. Right now we're not doing anything until turn 4, which our opponent's deck is luckily, at least in game 1, it was not very fast. So they can't really punish us. There we go. That's what I'm looking for here. Okay. They're doing less than we are. We're going to get in for the 2 here. We don't have anything to do this turn, but next turn we can play a Glorifier or a Chupacabra if they play something we want to kill. Got to keep in mind they have Bombard if I like try to use Vampire Zeal. Okay. Well, I think this time I am going to play the Glorifier and wait till they play 1 creature so I can push through some more damage there. So we're going to attack with 3/2. All right. We can kill a lot of creatures they play. We can swing around a lot of creatures they play with the help of Voracious Vampire. We can kill any creature they play, honestly, and that's pretty good. I don't know that I'll want to do that yet. It depends what they play, really. Ooh. Well, that's obnoxious. Good news is I can use Voracious Vampire plus Vampire Zeal to get a blowout here. I think that's the best plan. I think that's better than just... Chupacabra's actually not that good here because the opponent played 2 guys. So I'm going to play Voracious Vampire. I can actually attack with both of them and then use Vampire Zeal to win combat. So I think we actually want to do this. They may just take 7, by the way, which we're also okay with. They are just taking 7. That works for us. We will end our turn. What if they have like Star of Extinction? We didn't see it in the last game, but that is a good reason to be in a ramp deck. And that would hurt. That is something to keep in mind. Just maybe we don't want to overcommit to the board. We haven't seen anything yet, but there is a possibility. Ooh. Something's going to have to get Chupacabra'd. And by something, I mean that dinosaur token. Ouch. Oh, I should have... That was stupid. I should have Vampire Zealed, because then they both would have died. I think if my opponent decides to be really aggressive there, we're in pretty good shape. That's funny that they played that and then didn't attack, because now they just lose it. Okay, I think we just attack with both again. We can use Vampire Zeal to win combat, and at worst trade. So, and then we can use Call to the Feast. They're just taking that. That means we just win because we have Vampire Zeal. So 8 damage. Should not have just taken that when they know I have Vampire Zeal. So we actually have 3 tricks that would have just won us the game there. All right. Well, that was pretty good. Match 1. I'll see you guys in the next one. All right. Second match here. We would like to play first. Can I keep this? It really needs black mana, but even if I don't draw black mana, it's actually not the worst hand, and chances are good that I at least draw 1 swamp, right? I think this is a keep. I think it's a close one, but I think it's a keep. If I didn't have Raptor Companion and Vampire Zeal, I probably would have mulliganed, but... How many swamps do we have in our deck? At least like 8, right? So decent chance. We have a 25% chance every time we draw a card to draw a swamp. That's not too bad. And in the meantime, we have Raptor Companion and Vampire Zeal, which obviously isn't as good when you don't use it on a vampire, but it can be pretty potent on Raptor Companion if they like block with a 2/2 and you plow through it with your Raptor Companion. Okay, Impale's not really what I wanted to see. There it is. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. I'm going to play Oathsworn Vampire here because I'm greedy. Now, I mean, I think it's just better to play the Vampire before I play Voracious Vampire anyway. And having it come into play tapped can be a bit of an issue on a later turn anyway, so I think playing it now is just better in a lot of ways. So we're just going to play the Oathsworn Vampire now. We've actually been really lucky with hitting 2-drop vampires, considering we have 2, and we've had 2-drop vampires with Voracious Vampire in our hand a lot already, which is more than I expected to be the case. So you're going to make it so I can't gain life. That's not cool, man. But I'm going to hit you for 6 here. I highly doubt... We do take 1. I highly doubt they block the Raptor Companion, but you never know. Drop the opponent to 11 already. That's what the vampires can do. Especially when you actually have a ton of 2-drop vampires and like 3 voracious vampires. Okay. They go to 10. Do they attack me for 3? Probably no. Okay. So Mark of the Vampire will pump a dude, but it won't gain me life right now. I can't Chupacabra anything either. So I think playing Mark of the Vampire on this isn't the worst plan, but it's not a great one either. I think I attack with the Menace guy. If they just take 2, then I do put Mark of the Vampire on something. If they block, I can use Vampire Zeal to keep him alive and also kill one of these. I think I actually might want to kill the Knight more because it's a real problem if our opponent drops like a bunch of mana worth of vampires this turn. So yeah, let's attack with just Voracious Vampire. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I think I actually want to kill the Knight more. Although, if I kill this, my creature will stay alive. Oh wait, it stays alive either... No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It stays alive either way. Because it'll be a 4/4. Yeah, so we'll kill the Knight. Okay, so that worked out for us. We just gotta wait till we can hit double black for 2 removal spells, and then I think the floodgates will open. Keeping me from gaining life is wrong. This is like the best matchup for Rampaging Ferocidon. Newly banned in Standard, by the way. So, okay, yeah, big guy. But I'm not really that worried about him. Yeah, you can't really attack me. Double swamp? Oh, God. That's not what I wanted. So I'm going to stick Mark of the Vampire. Yeah, I think we got to put it... We want to put it on the guy with Menace. And I think we attack with him. I guess we get 2 for 1 in a lot of ways, though. God, I just need to wait till I draw double black. It's not worth attacking there, I don't think. I may regret that, because if I could have killed one of these and they like play another dino here... Okay, well, it's not a scary one. Luckily. I'm liking that they're hurting themselves a little. Okay. Well, I'm just going to play a guy too. We'll go to 18. We've been struggling with our swamps. Yep, I will end my turn. Okay, yeah, that's not fun. Probably side out Mark of the Vampire. Between losing the lifelink and instant speed interaction, that's that cheap. We don't really want to be dealing with that. Another Vampire Zeal is pretty nice. I would like another Swamp a little more, but I think we attack with both of these. Maybe we attack with all 3. If they decide to be conservative in blocking... God, attacking with all of them is a little bad, though, because there's a good chance we lose whatever creature we don't cast Vampire Zeal on. But I can get this guy back with the help of my lifelink token. Of course, he comes into play tapped. I'm attacking with both. Let's do it. Maybe they'll just take it. Nah. Okay, who do we want to kill more? Who do we want to kill more now, I should say? Could still have scary dinosaurs that he's going to ramp out, but it seems a little less likely now than it did earlier. Oh, I can't actually gain life, though. Worth noting. But I think we still use Vampire Zeal here. That gets rid of their biggest creature, which I'm not unhappy about. And yeah, I'll end my turn. I need to check how many swamps are in my deck when I sideboard, because we've had a hard time hitting swamp number 2. It could just be, I mean, you know, that happens. I think I blocked the Frillback if that's... Yeah, I'm going to block that Frillback. They might have a trick, but... Ceratops, okay. That's probably what I would Chupacabra right now. They go to 6. Okay. Again, I can't gain life, but I can take life. But yeah, we're in trouble now because we do have an evasive threat at least, but everything else going on is bad news. Until we draw another swamp. If we can go Impale, Chupacabra, Chupacabra, Impale, I feel like we would have won this game by now, but we can't. We haven't been able to do it, clearly. All right, so we're going to block the biggest one. Yeah, getting in for 4 doesn't really make a difference there, I don't think. So we're going to go to 6 and then to 5. Okay, what can we do? Aha! See, this is going to make a big difference. Question is, do I go after the Ferocidon because of... Yeah, I think I do go after the Ferocidon first because menace and taking damage when I play creatures. I can also gain life again now, so I guess that's what I do. This also makes it so the Blood Marcher is lethal next turn. This puts me at 5 too, so even if my opponent has to have a kill spell basically to kill us. Yeah, I think it's worth it. There is some definite downside, like if our opponent kills our Chupacabra here, we're just dead, obviously. But, oh, hey, if I'd left black mana up, I couldn't though, but... So do they have a kill spell? In this format, for the most part, I've found being aggressive in these situations pays off more than not. But it can definitely go wrong. Okay, World Shaper. So I blocked the big guy. Should just give him the Chupacabra Death Touch too, you know? We drop to 3. Alright, and then we attack in the air. And if we get in for it, we just win. I'm not sure we are. Oh, it looks like we are. They were just making us do it. Alright. So we got that swamp finally, and as I predicted, it got us the win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 8 is probably right. Yeah, now I remember. I mean, I recorded the actual draft a few days ago, as you can tell from the fact that I have a haircut and such now, but I remember now that I put more planes in by 1 just because I had way more 1s and 2s that were white. But I'm not sure that was correct. I mean, it's not like we have we have like barely too few swamps. Like if I could replace a plains with an evolving wilds, that would be great, but we don't have one. We have Demystify. We don't really have anything that was worth bringing in here. Let's just go back out there and try to do the same. This deck definitely seems strong. I mean, we've done pretty well so far, but this is definitely a mulligan. 3 Conquistadors in your opening hand. That's what you want. Okay, this one is a keep. We're going to put that one on the bottom because we're going to draw him later anyway, so we don't want him. Okay, so we have turn 2 Companion and then Conquistador probably if we want to try to maximize Voracious Vampire's usefulness. Plus on turn 4 we can give this Menace and play Vampire Zeal, which is a pretty nice combination. So if we get 3 Legion Conquistadors, are we going to have to discard or anything? Ooh, that's not good for our opponent. We won't have to. Oh, yeah, we will. We'll have to discard 1 card. Probably be one of the Conquistadors. I don't need that many. I could just not get one of them, but I think thinning out my deck a little bit is probably worth the upside. I mean... Oh, wait, no, we won't. We won't have to discard. I don't know what I'm talking about. I forgot I had to actually play 1 Conquistador. We will use its ability, and we'll grab every vampire in our deck now. Yeah, that's what this deck is missing, is the Forerunner. I haven't drafted a Forerunner of any kind yet, actually. Our opponent is in trouble with their mana situation, and our opponent's scooped already. Well, it's been pretty easy so far. We'll see if we can win our last match, too. All right, we're going to the final match. Chance for a trophy, which would be pretty sweet. Huh. I think this is a keep, although on the play, this is... I mean, on the draw, rather, this is a pretty slow hand, but it's pretty strong. I think I keep it. If I draw a 2-drop vampire, it'll be an amazing hand. I mean, I'll even take a Raptor Companion, you know, one of our other 2-drops. I'll take it. But obviously, one of our 2 vampires would be better. All right. This time, we likely will have to discard stuff because we're not going to be playing anything else. So probably Pirates. Yeah, Pirates it is. Ooh, we're not doing so well over here. Slow start is not what we want. This might be a matchup where it's worth bringing in Golden Demise, incidentally. Mardu Pirates. I wonder what they're splashing. Probably, my guess would be Huatli. That's what I'm going to go with. Yep, Trailblazer. Blazing Trails. Would it be worth just arterial flowing here? I think probably not. I mean, we do have to take 4. I mean, maybe it would be if we draw a swamp. The more I think about it, we didn't, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so we're going to play a Legion Conquistador here. May just end up trading with it, but that's okay because we have more Legion Conquistadors. Should I just get 1 this time? Since I think I'm just going to get 1 for now, so that when I play another one later, I can search for the last one, and I don't have to end up having to discard anything. So yeah, I'll probably, if he attacks with Daring Buccaneer here, I'll just trade with it, and take 2 here, play another Conquistador. Yeah, that's my plan. I mean, they may have a trick, but I think trading a Conquistador who just drew me a card for a trick is pretty reasonable. I mean, obviously I'd rather just kill the creature, but if I don't, then that's okay. Okay, we do kill the creature. Ugh. Swaggering Corsair. So 2 creatures I can't block effectively anymore, except for that, I just drew Vampire Zeal, which will actually be pretty good here, hopefully. We're going to use its ability and get our last Conquistador, because I don't really feel like waiting. Yeah. And we'll leave up mana for Vampire Zeal here. Planning to block the Corsair and Vampire Zeal it into the ground, but the bad news about doing it in this situation is our opponent has 3 mana up. Means they could bombard, means they could do a lot of things. They could use their own trick. There's a lot of scenarios here where we get 2 for 1. But given the board state, I think we have to try to go for it. We have to try to spike this, but it looks like we're going to fail. Yeah, we do. So we take 2. Struggling to hit that double black again, although I don't think I was going to be inclined to play arterial flow anyway, but I might. This time I don't think I block anything. I think I just take 5 to my face. Yeah. Good news is our opponent's stuck on 3 lands, and they haven't... They did have a pretty aggressive start, but they haven't done anything in a while, and that's good for us. Like, if they'd had a very fast start, we would just be done, so... But we are going to 9 here, so... At 4 mana, they're probably going to play Direfleet Neckbreaker and just destroy our souls, but... You know... Maybe they're going to give a guy double strike right now? No. Look like they might be thinking about casting something. Okay. Yeah, this is a problem that our creatures are all just 2/2s. We need one of our bigger ones. Oh, okay. I think we use Arterial Flow here. We get to gain some life. And we can also play the second Conquistador. We could play 2 creatures here, but I think this is good. This is fine. Taking us up to 11 and going after their hand, when we know none of the cards in their hand are lands, is pretty solid. And we'll play another Conquistador. And we can double block one of these guys, and he can't kill both of them. Baffling End. And Moment of Triumph. God, what's the other card in their hand? I feel like we're probably dead anyway if they're willing to discard 2 cards like that we're going to help them punch through a double block. Yeah, they got something good. Yeah, they have a removal spell anyway. Alright, so they can hit me for 8 now. And they will. I think I just have to take it. This is a matchup where we do not want that second Impale, I can tell you that much. This is a matchup where Raptor Companion, if I had an extra one on my sideboard, I'd bring him in because we need that 3 power pretty badly. Okay, so we can technically survive another turn, but... yeah, I mean, I guess we'll go for it. This is not how you envision playing your Voracious Vampires. You know? So, I can actually attack this turn. Like, I'm so close to dead anyway that I think I might just attack with this Conquistador. And then single block each of these and go to 1. Because I can only block 2 creatures anyway. Because of Menace. Yeah, so I think I'm going to attack. I mean... There's, you know, a 99% chance we lose this game regardless of what I do with this creature. So dropping them a little lower on life. And then maybe we draw something crazy. Although, like, right now, our best card in our deck would just kill us. Or wouldn't do enough, at least. Chupacabra. I mean, we're going to be at 1. So even the Chupacabra can't get us back in this thing. But, yeah, I don't really think there's anything we can draw, really, that's going to save us. Which is sad because all our opponent did was play like a 2-drop pirate and 2 3-drop pirates, and we're like, we can't really do anything about that. It's not really where you want to be. All right, so we're going to block each of the 3 power guys. Actually, I guess if I draw Chupacabra, I can kill the guy with Menace and live for 1 more turn. But I don't know if I would want to show my opponent I have Chupacabra, since there's like very little chance we win anyway. That puts me at 2. Does that make a difference? No, we're still dead. All right. Well, we lost the game, and very convincingly. I might want to bring in, like, the tricks are going to be good against those bodies. Yeah, that's about it. Golden Demise is worth thinking about, I think. Though, you know, we saw a bunch of 3/3s there in that game, so maybe not. Yeah, I don't think we want Impale. I think we got to cut something. question is, do I rather have a trick or Mark of the Vampire? I feel like Mark of the Vampire in this situation is going to be a little better because it's going to make it impossible for my opponent to race me in most situations. And hopefully this game will become a race, unlike the earlier ones. Maybe bringing another 2-drop wouldn't have been a bad plan just because we don't have as many of them as we'd like the 2-mana 2/2 with Vigilance. Okay, I think we keep this. At least we're on the play this time, so the fact that we don't do anything with turn 3 isn't as big of a problem, and we also have Champion of Dusk to help us outcard our opponent, along with Legion Conquistador, I guess. 2-drop Vampire. Oh. That is our deck's big weakness, and we've been lucky about it. I mean, our deck played like a deck that had lots of 2-drop Vampires in match 1 and 2, and that's partly why we hadn't lost a game yet. Since then, it's been, more realistic. So, okay. I think we just get 1 here because we don't really, or 2. We'll get 2. We don't really want to discard. So we're going to use its ability. We'll grab the other one later. Do I trade with Oathsworn Vampire? Oof. I don't know if I do with Bishop Soldier in play. I think the answer is probably no. Okay. Well, I think here we play Voracious Vampire. We give this Menace. And +1/+1, and we attack with it. If our opponent chooses to double block here, obviously we can Vampire Zeal and really come out ahead. I don't think they're going to block, though. Yeah, they're not going to block. We probably just play Champion of Dusk next turn. Like 4/4 that draws me 3 cards. Seems pretty good, right? Yeah. We can leave up Vampire Zeal here. We do want to get rid of that Bishop Soldier because our opponent gaining life, just like we were talking about Mark of the Vampire being good for us and making it hard to race, our opponent gaining life against us is going to make it hard for us to race. So wait a second. Where's my chat? Which one's targeting who? I think using Zeal here isn't a bad plan. Assuming what this is telling me is that my opponent chose Legion Conquistador to do damage to Voracious Vampire. Yeah, I'm going to use the Zeal. Hopefully Magic Online didn't screw me there. It didn't. All right. Opponent can't really attack me now, unless they're crazy. And yeah, now it's our turn. Impale. I like Impale, but I think we'd rather just go Champion of Dusk here. It's the biggest creature out there, and it draws us 3 cards. Reloads our hand. Look at that. That's some good stuff. That Fathom Fleet Captain is a problem, but our opponent doesn't have another pirate right now, surprisingly. They may be about to get one, though. Nope. That's good news for us, I think. So I think I play the Chupacabra and kill the pirate. Yeah. I thought about killing the flyer, but I can do that later, and it won't really make much of a difference. It will have hit us. That's all that will be different. But we can just impale it later. I thought about using Arterial Flow and playing Raptor Companion there, but that didn't really seem worth it. So I'm just going to end our turn. Hey, we drew our other Conquistador. Should have searched him up, I guess. We're in much better position this game than we were in last game. I can tell you that much. probably going to 14 here. I don't know why our opponent wouldn't attack us. I'm glad we're bluffing a combat trick, but we don't actually have one. Yeah, we'll take the 3. And we're probably impaling the Aerosaur. We might do something else. Oh, baffling end. I should have brought in, maybe thought about bringing in anyway, Demystify. Okay. That doesn't really hurt that much because our 3-drops are also medium. Like once they're in play, that losing that is sort of like, okay, that's cool. Okay, so we have 6 mana. I actually don't think I'm going to go with my initial plan. I think instead I'm going to cast Arterial Flow and then cast Voracious Vampire and make this a 5/5. Okay, it was just 2 lands, but knowing that is obviously a good thing. So we're gonna pump him up and attack with him. Don't really want to trade. I mean, obviously the trade would be a decent one, but what we want to do is make sure that this lifelinker's dead before we kill this. And we can't make that decision when we're the ones attacking, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. We're going to take 3 in the sky again. We can with our menace creature, by the way, so that's nice. Okay. I think now I do just cast Impale. I'm going to attack with my Menace Vampire so that I can kill the lifelinker if they decide to block. And then I'll play Raptor Companion. Playing the Bloodletter would have been nice, but I think impaling that flyer was pretty good. I don't think just seeing Baffling End is enough of a reason to bring in Demystify. Not 1 anyway. If I saw 2, I would probably do it. Awesome. That's the great thing about leaving mana up in this format, is it's just like so many different things. I could cast so many different things that would blow my opponent out there if they double blocked. I didn't have any of them, but it wasn't really worth it for our opponent. All right, we won game 2. We saw 1 Baffling End. I don't think that was enough to bring in our Demystify because it can only hit enchantments. Do we want Mark of the Vampire, though? Opponent has some efficient removal that makes it look pretty bad, but I do kind of want to bring in another 2-drop because of how the game 1 went, though, and I think I'll cut the Mark. I guess that's what they're splashing, actually, now that's what they're splashing with white is... Yeah. Yeah, I think cutting the Mark's okay here. I think another 2-drop's going to get me more mileage than... All right, this game determines whether we get our first trophy or go 2-1. Ooh, it's a good one. We have 2 2-drop vampires. Don't have a voracious one, which I think we've had in like literally every opening hand. We do have 3, so the probability is pretty high, but we could draw one. That's not one of them. I think we play Oathsworn first again for the same reasons I mentioned before. If I played a little later, the fact that it comes into play tapped can be a real problem. Ugh. That's enough lands now. Thank you. So yeah, we'll play the Oathsworn guy first. Could get Baffling Ended. It's definitely a good thing to use Baffling End on. Nope. He is not ended. Okay, now I would probably play the Bloodletter, actually. Granted, playing the Bloodletter later can let me get back the Oathsworn Vampire, but the Bloodletter's ability to attack in the air here is big. I can also put a counter on it next turn with Sanguine Glorifier, so that's going to feel good if we're allowed to do that. Okay, not super concerned about that guy. I think we hold on to that and just play the Glorifier here. Next turn we can play both Voracious Vampire and Martyr of Dusk, so... we'll attack. We can just trade with our Glorifier, which seems pretty probable. That I'll give that a try. Obviously, just trading for Dusk Charger is a pretty good deal for us since we get the counter still. And it's a 4-drop for a 4-drop. So we come out ahead there. Of course, if they play their 3-4 guy right now, it's going to be annoying. We do get to get in for one more hit thanks to Voracious Vampire, but the 3-4 flyer, I mean, Shining Aerosaur. Let me just... okay. Did they go aggressive there? No. Yeah, they killed my poor flyer. What did he ever do to you, man? Well, and now I think we just take it. Okay, Swaggering Corsair. You're not as scary this late, luckily. Ooh. Opponent can't actually try to double block, so we're not going to get value that way. But I think we make this at 3-3 and we attack with both. That's how we get in for the most damage here. Yeah. I don't see him trying to trade, but if he does, we can always use Moment of Triumph. So he is going to try to trade. I'd say Moment of Triumph then. Right, drop him to 11. I guess they're trying to get to the City's Blessing is what their plan is here, and that's why they're... But you lose a permanent there. You do make the game go longer, theoretically, if you... Oh, God, that's beautiful. Opponent does have 3 cards in their hand, but I think we still go for it here. With Vampire Zeal, however he blocks. Yeah, let's go for it. No, they got something. Okay. We drop them back down to 8. And we also play Martyr of Dusk. Hold on to this card to bluff things. All right, well, that's pretty nice in this situation. I think we attack with both of these. One's a trade and the other can't be blocked right now. It's nice to have Legion Conquistador here because we're out of gas, basically, but he's going to make sure we're not. Even though, the creatures we're playing aren't going to be great or anything. So they're going to take that. And we can drop 2 of them right now, which should get us going wide enough, I feel like. So, Conquistador. He's been good, mostly. I mean, that one game where our opponent played a bunch of 3-3s and we were just too far behind, it wasn't so good. But every other game, the Conquistador has been very good. Have I selected all of you? Yes. And we're going to play another land, and we're going to play another Conquistador. We have the City's Blessing. No. It's going to be hard for them not to die here unless they've been sandbagging a removal spell this whole time, which is possible. A board sweeper, I mean. Like a golden whatever. Yeah, Golden Demise would be bad. This would still survive, and we'd have a 1/1 token, though. So it wouldn't be the end of the world, especially when we have 2 Conquistadors in our hand. I guess 4 non-lands is not enough to win. Yeah, that does suck when that happens. Well, I think we're going to do it with Vampires. Get a trophy. It's nice to get my first trophy this early. People are always asking me where my trophies are, because the last couple formats I haven't done great with trophies anyway. My win percentage is usually around 60, and that's basically what my goal is, to feel like I'm doing what I need to do. But it took me a while to get used to how aggressive this format is, and I'm just not as good at being aggressive. But I think, as you will have noticed from watching the first few drafts of this format, I've gotten better at it. There have been lots of scenarios where in the old format I wouldn't have attacked because it took me so long to get used to the level of aggression. The idea of playing auras is, so hard for me to want to do, and I think they are worse now. Like that's why I took out Mark of the Vampire. There's just so much better removal that getting 2 for 1 on auras is way more likely now. I don't know why our opponent's waiting to concede to us. But they don't. They do seem to be. All right, there it is. Okay, well, that went well. We got our first trophy and, enough stuff to do basically 2 more drafts. So I'll see you guys again on Thursday.